In the country that calls itself the land of the free, freedom still comes with conditions. For some, it's written in ink. For others, it's written in invisible ink, a promise they're still waiting to see. America, a place that built its story on equality, liberty, and justice for all. But somewhere between the words of the Constitution and the streets of everyday life, that promise got lost. It's 2025, and the conversation about race in America is changing. Some say discrimination is history. They say everyone has a fair chance now. They say racism ended years ago. But the numbers, and the lives behind those numbers, say otherwise. Black Americans make up just 13% of the population, yet nearly 40% of those incarcerated. They are twice as likely to be unemployed, 3 times more likely to be searched during traffic stops, and 5 times more likely to be detained as minors. It's not just a system, it's a pattern, one that's been redesigned, renamed, and repackaged, but never truly dismantled. Racial injustice doesn't always wear a uniform anymore. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Through policies that defund schools instead of prisons, through housing laws that quietly keep neighborhoods divided, through algorithms that label certain names as high risk. It hides behind statistics. It lives in the small decisions that shape a lifetime. Think of Kalief Browder, just 16 years old when he was accused of stealing a backpack. No evidence, no conviction, just an accusation, and a system that refused to see his innocence. He spent 3 years in Rikers Island, 2 of those years in solitary confinement, 3 years stolen from his youth, for a crime he never committed. When Kalief came home, he tried to rebuild. He tried to live. But some cages are invisible and impossible to escape. His death shook the world. It exposed a wound America didn't want to see, a wound called systemic racism. 10 years later, we still ask the same question. How could this happen? But maybe the better question is, why does it keep happening? Every decade brings a new face, a new hashtag, a new protest. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tyre Nichols. Different names, same story. Each time, the world promises change. Each time, the news cycle moves on faster than the justice system ever will. Now, in 2025, new debates rise. Diversity and equity programs are being dismantled. School curriculums are rewritten to erase painful history. Words like inclusion are labeled as divisive. The truth itself is on trial. Some call it progress. But for millions of people of color, it feels like a rewind. A quiet rollback of the few protections that once gave hope. And yet, amid the pain, voices rise. Students speaking out in classrooms, creators sharing their truth online, mothers marching for sons who will never come home, filmmakers turning stories of injustice into movements. They are the modern civil rights soldiers, armed not with weapons but with words, not with anger but with purpose. They remind the world that justice isn't charity. It's a birthright. It's not something to earn, it's something we're all owed. So what does justice really mean? It's not just laws written on paper. It's access. It's opportunity. It's protection, regardless of skin color. It means a black child can walk home from school without fear. A Latina mother can get fair housing without being judged by her name. An indigenous voice can speak truth without being silenced. An immigrant can dream without being told to go back. Because the promise of America was never meant for some. It was meant for all. The fight for racial justice isn't over. It's just changed its battleground. It's in courtrooms and classrooms, in boardrooms and voting booths, in every conversation that starts with, "That's not my problem," and ends with silence. But silence is complicity, and silence is how injustice survives. Kalief Browder's story is not just a tragedy. It's a warning, a reminder that freedom without fairness is another kind of cage. And until justice belongs to everyone, it belongs to no one.